Welcome to this Tuesday's Traveling Young, and you may remember, first of all, it's raining like Denmark right now, even though we're not in Denmark. I'm at my home in the U.S. You may remember my dad when we tasted some Smartball and licorice last time I was in the U.S. Everybody last time said, you said your dad's name was Dad. You're the only one that calls your dad Dad. That's not true. My sister and my brother, who's right over here, also calls Dad Dad, my brother Jeremy. And you live...
I live outside of Detroit, Michigan.
All right, there you go. And he is a beer connoisseur. And so what I wanted to do is get some beers that I drank with Peter during our beer drinking episode and get their thoughts, because they've never had Danish beer before, or Danish Julebryg before. So we're going to do this as quickly as possible because raindrops are falling in our beer, and it's so warm and nice outside despite the rain. This is the Scanibor red Julebryg. And Scanibor, for you guys to know, if you look at the label, flip it around, that's the shape of an island. And the Scanibor is on Bornholm, an island of Bornholm, which is southeast and below Sweden. And it's one of the nicest places in Denmark. Everybody says go to Bornholm, which we've been. And I've been to the Scanibor brewery before. But
And they call this a dark lager.
yes, red Jule. So Skål for the first taste. Jeremy brews beer, so he's going to be critical or not critical. We shall see. Dad is just
I just drink it.
He just drinks it. He, like me, just drinks it. What do you think?
Well, it's a lager. It's clean. It's very smooth up front. Finishes like a lager, like I would expect. It's almost like a red ale, but a lager version of it. I mean, It's got a little bit of the malt characters of it, but I don't know. Is this? I'm not picking up spices or things along those lines. If it is, it's very, very.
Yeah, I think there's some faint stuff, but one of the things that I want to hear is we're going to taste a couple, and I want them to tell me what their favorite is among the ones we taste. They don't know which one Peter and I said was the best, so I want to keep that in mind as we drink the other ones to see if you think in the end this is the best of the ones we taste. I didn't bring all of them. You don't have to sit through 30, 40 minutes of us drinking beer, but I brought some. And so...
I like it. I mean,
you like it? Yeah.
It's smooth. It's easy drinking. It's not too filling. I like it.
Dad, you're probably binary on the beer drinking. Good, not good. You have some middle...
Well, my baseline is Miller Lite.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So
So this is good.
Well, it's different from Miller Lite, that's for sure. But I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see myself sitting at a bar and tipping a few.
This one I have never had before, and it's from Scanibor Brewery, which for you guys to know is in northern Jutland, which is the piece of Denmark that touches Germany, and it's not far from Aarhus. And this Scanibor is the brewery that Peter's from, not my beer drinking friend Peter, but another Peter who I was there and we did a call with Jeremy because you were asking questions and chatting to the brewmaster Peter about some parts you were going to buy for your own brewery.
Exactly.
And so I wanted to try one of his beers, and for me, this is the first time. So it'll be interesting if this ends up being better than the ones that my other friend Peter and I tasted. But
This one is especially for Christmas.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. But Peter, let me know. You can correct me, and we. I hope you're watching. I'll send you a message to make sure you see this. I like this a little bit better than the last one, tiny bit.
Yeah,
I don't.
Really, you like the Scanibor better?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
so-
this.
It seems flatter to me.
There's a little bit more sweetness to it, which I tend to like. The last one, little more bitter finish.
Yeah.
This one's balanced a little differently, and I like that. It's good full body up front and finishes clean.
And the good news, it feels like the rain has stopped. It was brief. It wasn't like a Danish rainstorm. It didn't last for hours.
And of course, we're drinking from our Christmas vacation
Yeah.
ale glasses.
Mine says, "Did I break wind?"
Bend over and I'll show you. The
Well, that goes with
line,
it.
The famous line.
And yours says,
Mine is high voltage holidays and a picture of Clark plugging in all the Christmas lights.
"These have been used a lot," as tell from the faded.
I like this. There's good color. It's a bit clearer than the last one. I like the way it finishes a bit better. The other one's just a little little more bitter than my personal preference, but as a style. I've now gotten to try
One of
some of Peter's beers. I'm gonna have to send you some of mine.
Yeah. This is the Albany Julebryg. And Albany this is one of the early, first ones in Denmark, from what I've been told, historically. Christmas brews. Christmas brew. It's also a really old brewery, but in terms of early adoption of Christmas brews. So one of our viewers told us to try this one last time. So this would be classic Julebryg. Classic.
This is what the standards are written around, huh? A lot more flavor up front on that one.
Yeah. I remember when I tried this. This is also one of the least expensive ones that you can get.
Yeah.
And I was blown away at the value for cost compared to some of the the Svanike one is probably 3 times more for that bottle than one of these cans, and to me the value that you get for what you're paying. But it's still, heavier because it's a Christmas beer than what a normal light beer would be that some of these breweries would normally make.
Definitely more specialty malts and give it some of that color and flavor.
What do you think, Dad?
You
still like Svanike?
I still like the first one, but I would put this number 2.
Huh?
We were talking about this last night. I'm dying because 2 of these have been from islands too, right?
Yeah.
So if there's any water treatment that they do in preparation beer, because I have to imagine the water source is even different from an island to the mainland.
Well, this island is pretty big.
Yeah,
so the other one is an island that you can drive around in a day pretty easily, but this one, it's a pretty big island. I mean,
but I'd still be I'd be really, if there's any brewers.
Yeah, Peter, let us know about
how they handle any water adjustments, because I imagine it's different from each of these locations, and they're all quite good.
So, is there any association with the name Albany in Albania?
Not that I'm aware of. I could research it, but let me tell you, last time, I don't know if you saw in the comments, you mentioned stuff about in the Smallborough one about the shrimps and people, you were on point.
Yeah, I felt that way.
Yeah. So maybe you're on point with this one. I don't know, but I just know that's the name of the brewery. I don't know much more than that. All right, we are on to the final of the 4, and this is from Sjö, also an island. And this was also in our Christmas tasting with Peter. Right. And I think this is super Christmassy from my perception of Danish Christmas beer.
Okay. Oh wow, that's sweet. I thought I was picking up that's sweet.
Good sweet?
No, it is good sweet. I mean, but not often found in a beer. It makes me wonder. There's a technique used in cidering to make ciders a little sweet, called back sweetening. Mm-hmm. And this reminds me of that, because generally we chew away all those sweet kind of sugars that you would perceive as sweet. But
this is very sweet.
Yeah, it's got.
But it's a sweetness with that. It's like a Christmassy sweetness. To me, I think about kind of Christmas tastes with the sweetness, and it matches what.
Which, with and it said here it was a Belgian strong dark ale base. That it's a good combination. I think. I mean, it's really interesting. I've not had a beer like this before.
Dad, what do you think?
I find it a lot like the second one to me.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, so I'll ask you a couple questions here.
Okay.
First question. This is your first run. Now, we did drink a couple other beers yesterday that I had more. Yeah. I spared you guys having to watch. Yeah. But this is your first real Danish Christmas brew experience. I mean, do you want this every Christmas now, like I do?
This is good. These are good beers. The American versions of Christmas beers tend to be heavier, so you really can't have more than one. You feel like you're overdone if you do.
Well, I think this specific one is tough to drink more than one of.
Yeah, its flavors are stronger on it.
The Albany, you can drink, I think, a couple of it. To me, it's a little lighter, the one you can.
Right. So, I mean, if you wanted to sip on it throughout the day, but these lend itself more to that.
So what do you think is your first Danish Christmas
The
beer?
very first one.
Oh, well, you're already telling us your
I'm
favorite
still-
too.
Yeah.
That was the second question, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I'm
Just generally
saying
the
that-
experience.
Well, I don't recall thinking back ever tasting beers quite like this.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. I would drink them again.
I think this is the spectrum, so you can get stuff all around the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, this is what to expect. And the first one was Spanike, so that you said was your favorite.
Yes.
So the Bornholm lovers out there, everybody loves the island of Bornholm. So you're hitting the notes
I'm
with the
in with
Bornholm.
them,
You're
huh?
in with the
Okay.
Bornholm lovers
All
out
right.
there.
Well, I don't know. It just it was very distinct, and to me, it was separated itself from all the others, and
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right, Jeremy, what is your favorite amongst the four? And then I'll tell you how Peter and I landed.
Well, I tend to like stronger flavors, and I think this one speaks to me the most in that it's got a lot going on, and that I tend to gravitate to in general. So,
That's the one that we selected as the most
was it?
Christmassy and the best beer, because I'm the same way. Like, my reaction when I first drank it was like, wow, like, there's so much
It's different. Yeah.
stuff that I'm trying to taste here.
Yeah.
And it felt different and good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I like to have like a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my favorite. So I actually bought a number of these, so I have some when I get back home,
Okay. Nice.
because when we get back they'll be gone.
Yep.
They also disappear after Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite. And I need to try other beers from Fur, because I've only had this one. I need to try other
So,
stuff.
so
from Brewery.
the interesting thing is I could use your very same words in describing the first one.
Yeah, well, it was
me.
that way to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, everybody's got different tastes.
Yeah.
So you liked that it was unique, and you
Yeah.
immediately was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
that's what I like, right? I like getting something a little unexpected,
Yeah.
and surprised a bit.
Yeah.
And since I've had a lot of Danish Christmas beers,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as surprised nowadays. But this one was like, wow, this is super interesting and good.
Yeah, it's good. And by the way, I could be totally. They may not back sweeten this. There's lots of brewing tricks out there, but that was just the first thing that came to my mind. But it's if they did, I've not had a beer like that, and to do it with a Christmas beer, I'd be interested to try it myself brewing sometime just to see how that would turn out. But yeah, this is good, and it's sort of almost 9.5%.
Yeah, that's probably the most alcohol,
Yeah.
highest of the ones that we drank
So
too.
it should last for a while too. Like you could
Yeah.
store it for a bit and it'd be pretty good.
I
too.
think you only have 2 left. They may not last
They
long.
may not last that long. That's all
When I
right.
get home.
Fresh is good.
Yeah,
too.
because I brought some here. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you sharing this. I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Because Peter and I do this every year, and I thought it'd be fun for you guys to experience a little bit of this Danish Julebryg. Because it's part of Danish. It's one of the big parts of Danish Christmas. I got one more burp in me.
Yep.
I'm trying to contain it so it's not like too
You
overwhelming.
didn't have us paced in the corner.
I know. We didn't do the whole. Dad feels he wanted a magic quadrant, and next time we'll do the magic. Maybe we'll just do a rant. Like, well, I need to get back here again. Actually, I got to get back here again to do that. But we'll have a more formal.
Okay.
Or you come to Denmark, and then we can do some Danish
Well,
beer
that's where
tasting there.
the actual quad
Yeah, the quadrant stays in Denmark.
stays in the house.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit. You get to meet my brother, and of course, you met my dad already. You get to meet him again, and you get to see me a ton. But thank you, and we hope you guys had a good Christmas, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.